everybody. Today is Sunday, July 27, 2014. Welcome to Tea Time with Toya, and I'm your host, Toya. Well, let's get the sponsor out the way. Our sponsor, like always, is lifechanger2.mybuy.net. If you're looking to lose some weight or looking for new ways of getting healthier or gaining muscle, just visit lifechanger2.mybuy.net. That's LIFCHANGER, the number 2.mybi.net. Really good product, really tastes great, especially when you mix it with some of those different fruits, especially the frozen fruits, because then it's kind of like a smoothie. But anyway, so today's topic is really going to be about fear. But I kind of wanted to start out with what I did today. So for the past few years, I have this homeless shelter that I've been wanting to get started. So this year I figured I am definitely going to get it started, at least with the paperwork and nonprofit status, that kind of thing. So today was the first day I actually did something, because I said instead of me waiting to get grant money, find a building, get my paperwork, I can go ahead and start doing things now, because people need help now. They don't need it later on. And I could keep going with that same excuse over and over again where I just don't have the money for it right now, because guess what? You'll never have the money for it, right? So I just went on and just do like I do with most things. I took my 2 feet and jumped right in. So today was the day I put these bags together and took them out downtown Detroit to give them out to some of the homeless or needy people that I came across out there. So one of my good friends, Mia, and yes, Mia, I'm putting you on blast, she actually did this with me. So there was the 2 of us going on. So she drove and I passed out the bags. And it was a really wonderful experience. But what brought me to the topic for today from this is both of us were kind of nervous about doing it. Anytime I'm doing something that I want to do for myself, that's in me to do, I always get a little nervous, because you get all those questions that go through your head, like what if this doesn't work, or like today, what if there's nobody out there for us to give anything to? What if they cuss me out? What if they shoot me away? What if they won't take what I give them? What if somebody's violent and get mad because we're giving them something? Or just all these what ifs that go through your head, and the things I could do. Like one of the things that she said to me is, she was like, what if they come after us for more bags? So those kind of things do go through your head. But the problem is when you allow fear to debilitate you and keep you from doing anything, and keep you from moving forward and actually doing what it is that you seek to do. So I'm one of those people who always sit back, and whenever somebody tells me about something that they want to do, I encourage them. Go out and do it. Try it. What's there to lose? And people are always afraid of failure, afraid of what others may say or what others may do. But you know what? That's when you allow fear to debilitate you from becoming the best person you can be. That's when you're allowing fear to take hold of you and control you. And you get those people, well, I'm not afraid of anything and I don't let fear do anything, yet you're still stuck in the same job you don't like because you're afraid to move on and do something different. So do not let fear debilitate you. Me, I thought about it today when I was talking to her, Mia, in the car. I told her that back in the day when I first started doing my very first speech class, because I had speech in high school, and one of the things I remember is that my speech teacher told us that you never allow fear to control you or hold you back. You use it. Use the energy from that fear to go ahead, persevere through what it is that you're trying to get out there, the speech that you're trying to get through. And you do whatever it is that you need to do in order to get through that, whether it's picture people naked or look over the tops of their heads or find one person and just kind of focus on them. Whatever it was that helped you get through the fear. Well, over the years, because don't get it mistaken or twisted, just because I do this now, because I did the video blogs, don't think I'm not afraid or I don't get nervous when talking to the public. Depending on the topic that I'm speaking on, I might have to do this thing 3 or 4 times before you actually hear it. Like the last broadcasting, I did that 4 or 5 times before I was satisfied, because I was nervous about the topic in which I was speaking on. But for this topic, this is one that I am an advocate for. I really want people to persevere. I really want them to get over their fears and actually do the things that they want to do and stop allowing fear to hold them back. So what I do is which I know is easier said than done because I've been doing this for a while. I use my fear as a soapbox. I put it on the ground and I stand on top of it and let it raise me up high so that I can reach everybody and yell across the crowd and everybody can hear and see me. That's what I do with my fear. Even when I give speeches or have to speak in front of the crowds or public or things like that at my job, or, doing the video blogs that I used to do, that was a face-to-face thing. It was me speaking into a camera, not knowing who's on the other end, or watching it just like this one. I speak and I don't know who's listening to it. It could be anybody. But I don't let it stop me because this is what's in me to do. Like I said in the beginning, the radio station I got set up on because I had 3 people tell me in 5 days that I need to do a radio station. 3 people in 5 days. So I took it as, God trying to tell me something. So I said, okay, well, I'll do it. Because apparently this is helping somebody. Like with the video blogs, people thought, well, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Because I wasn't doing it for a job. I wasn't doing it for school. I wasn't doing it, for some promotion of something else. I did it because it was something that I wanted to do, that was in me to do. And I used it as a way to help me overcome fears that I have. I used it to help me become a better speaker. I used it to help me just be a better me. So things that people do is not always for somebody else. Sometimes it's just for you. So you overcoming your fear, it has nothing to do with anybody else but you. And you can't let that hold you back, even with those that we love and care about. Like my youngest son told me today, he said he wants to try boxing. Okay, well, I told him honestly, I said, as a mother, no mother wants to see her child get beat up on, even if he wins. You just don't want to see that. You don't want your child to put themselves in a position to where they can get hurt. That's not something you want to see as a mother. But as a person, I don't want to hold you back from anything that you choose to do, because in the end, it is your life, your choice in what you do. I just want to make sure you go out there and you get the good training. I want to make sure you know what you're doing so that it causes the least amount of damage to you, because again, it's not something I want to watch. And in truth, I'm actually thinking back on when, okay, I'm going to tell you guys and give my little disclaimer right now. I'm a little bit, what people call me weird sometimes, just because of the experiences and things that I've had and things I've come across. So when my kids were younger, I saw their souls before they actually were born. And I know that sounds crazy and weird, but hey, like I said, I gave my disclaimer. So my youngest son had a very nurturing spirit to begin with. It was an older lady, like in her late 50s, mid 60s, kind of like the hippie-ish kind, but grown up, I guess you can say. So she was very nurturing and loving and caring. And with my son now, this is my youngest one, I see him in that same manner. He is very nurturing. He is very caring for other people. And especially when it comes to kids, he's kind of protective like I am. So he'll look out for them and try to guide them in the right direction. So him learning all these different sports or trying these different sports, I know is good for what he is going to do in the future. It's something that he needs to do now so that he can help these children later on in life. Now, I don't know if he knows that or not. I've told him before, but what I see when he grows up is that he's surrounded by kids, like he's a gym teacher or he's a coach or something like that. And in order to be good at that type of job, you actually have to try different things. You have to be in sports and play them and do different ones, find different techniques and different strategies and things like that in order for you to be good at what you do. So when he came to me talking about he wants to be a boxer, like I said, as a mother, it's like, oh, Lord Jesus. Last thing I want is my boy to get somebody hit him in the wrong spot. He end up in concussion or paralyzed or whatever the case may be, or ends up like Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali, where they just got hit in the head too many times. And I'm not downplaying either one of those. They were great sports people, boxers, sorry. They were really great boxers, and I really did enjoy Mike Tyson, even though his fights were like 2 seconds long. But he was good at what he did. And Muhammad Ali, he talked a lot of smack, but he brought it to the ring, and he was able to bring it. And I do like boxing as a sport. And watching it is one of those things where I do sit back like, ooh, you cringe when they get hit too hard in the head. But, it's something that people watch. And, so those mothers didn't want their sons doing it, just like I wouldn't want mine doing it. But You have to let them be their own self, and you can't let that fear that you have hold them back either. So I said all of that, if you didn't catch on, to mean just what I just said. Finish saying, you cannot allow your fear for someone else to hold them back. So parents, we tend to do that a lot. We won't let our kids do this. We won't let them do that. We won't let them try this. We won't let them try that because we're afraid of what might happen to them. And some things we do need to let go of and allow them to be the person that they are going to be. You're not going to always be around to tell them right from wrong. You're not going to be around to tell them right decision from wrong decision. What you do is as they're a child and they're growing, you try to instill as much as you can in them and as much good stuff in them that you can, so when they get to that point where they have to make that decision and you're not around, they can make a good choice. That's your job as a parent. Your job as a parent is not to live vicariously through your child. Your job as a parent is to help them get to that point where they can make a good decision when they get older. And that's where I am in life now. Both of my boys are older, so I'm no longer dictating necessarily what they do, but kind of guiding them, like, just remember what I said, just remember you learned this, or just remember this was taught, or remember you need to do this, or you got to do that kind of thing. Because now they're getting to that point where they're going to be, well, I have one who is a grown man already. He's 18. So what is it? And he's about to turn 19. So how much more can I teach him at this point? Right now he's becoming an adult. He's going into adulthood. So yes, I'm going to be there to support him. Yes, I'm going to be there if he needs me for whatever reason. But at that same token, he's becoming his own man. And the same thing with my 16-year-old. He's about to be 17. Next year he'll be 18. And guess what? 18, you're considered grown. You're considered an adult. So you get those kids to that point, but you can't hold them back with things that you fear for them. You have to allow them to be their own person, which is what I did with my children. But so many times parents hold their kids back and tell them what it is they can or can't do because of what happened to them in their experience. See, when I went to ballet school, I sprained my ankle and now I can't do anything. So now you, as my daughter, I don't want you going to ballet school because I don't want you to hurt yourself like I did mine. Or, the dad, well, I busted my knee open in basketball. I can't have you playing like that because it gets a little too rough, Or, my brother got paralyzed when he played football and I can't have my son do it because I don't want that same thing happening to him. So when you make those type of decisions or you start thinking like that, you're actually holding that child back from being the person that they could be. They can go out there and they can do that sport and be great at it. They can go out there and do good at it, learn, and help somebody else who goes out there and does it and become great. And it could be yourself that I'm talking about. Something that you hold yourself back from. And I mentioned before, I believe, in one of my earlier ones, this is only number 4, so I guess in number 2 or 3. But I worked with a lady who said she always wanted to be an interior designer. But she had kids and it kind of like fell to the wayside. So I told her, well, do it now. Go to school for it now. So when you retire in the next few years, you can go ahead and do it. You can be that interior designer that you always wanted to be and do that in your spare time. So we need to get to the point where we stop allowing excuses and other things in our lives to debilitate us from doing what it is that we want to do and what's in us to do. So that's how fear takes hold of you. Now, I know a lot of people really talked about the Confucius era where you're told you go out and you do what's good for you or what you have that talent in doing. In some cases, I can understand, you don't want somebody telling you what you can do or what you can't do just based off of your talent. However, if that is what you're good at and you enjoy doing it, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with somebody appointing you as that? Like me, for example, I write. So maybe I get appointed as the speech writer. Okay, well, if I'm good at doing it, then what's wrong with it? What's wrong with me doing that as a career? So in a way, we kind of get away from a lot of things that we do in life period, or way things used to be, because it used to be a point where people did do things like that. If they were good at it, they went out and they did it and they got encouraged. But nowadays we're so hateful at times, and I'm not saying this is everybody, this isn't the general consensus, but there's so many people out there that are so hateful towards other people going out there and doing what they want to do because they are afraid of doing it themselves. So because I'm afraid to go out here and be an accountant when I went to school for law, I'm going to talk about you who wants to go out and become a nurse after you got this personal banking job. So we try to hold others back as well with us. And so if you don't get anything else out of what I'm saying in this broadcast tonight, it's this. Do not allow fear to hold you back. Do not allow fear to have you hold someone else back. Do not allow fear to make you hateful or jealous of somebody else who's going out there and doing what it is. Let go of that fear. Overcome it. Let it be your soapbox that you stand up on top of and you talk and speak to everyone else and shout out everything that you have in your heart to shout out that's positive and wonderful and all that good stuff, and just stand on top of that fear. And don't let it control you. Tell your fear, I'm controlling you. You're going to stand right beneath me. And you're going to hold me up and keep me lifted. So use that. Use that fear to get where you need to go. Use that fear to push you further. Use that fear to get you where you need to be. Use the energy from it, because it takes a lot of energy to hold on to fear. It takes a lot of energy out of you. Now, we all like scary movies and things like that, and as you're sitting there watching it, I don't know if you ever noticed it, but sometimes you're a little tired after watching it because your body has been so tense throughout the whole thing, and you're all panicky and like, oh my God, don't open the door, and they open the door, oh my God, it's the monster, or whatever the case may be. So it takes a lot of energy to hold on to all that fear or to go through that fear. Let it go. Use that energy in a better way. So that's my message for tonight. Like I said, I really hope that I reach somebody. I hope that it gets through. The message is there. Remember to check out our sponsors, lifechanger2.myvi.com. That's lifechanger2.myvi.com. .net. Oh my God, I did it again. So let me repeat that. It's lifechanger2.myvi.net. That's LIFCHANGER, the number 2.myvi.net, not .com. So I messed up on that one today. But in any case, you guys have a wonderful week. I hope it's a nice week and not as scorching hot as it is. But we've gotten away with it this far, so I guess we really shouldn't complain. But you guys have a good night. Thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful week. And talk to you next time.